Hey guys, and welcome back to the Miss Kena channel. My name is Huldah. If you are new, welcome. So today I'm going to be filming another video of interviewing excellent and intelligent and impressive medical students here on my channel. So today I have the opportunity of filming two wonderful ladies. They are twins, and I'm just so excited to welcome future Dr. Inam Bob and future Dr. Inna Bob to my channel. So I actually met these ladies through the Christian club here on my channel, and I've just been so excited to film with them, to collab with them. They also have a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and I just look forward to not just this interview but to other collaborations with these two ladies. So let's get started on this video. The very first question, ladies, is where are you right now in your medical journey with the St. Vincent School of Medicine program?
I'll go first. So I and my sister were both in MT5, and this is our last semester of our basic science program on the island before we move on to the next phase, which is a clinical rotation.
Wow, that is amazing.
Right.
Congratulations for making it thus far, honestly.
Thank God, honestly. And
yeah.
For me, she just said it's so, same.
That's awesome. So please describe yourselves as a youth. You can talk about, where you were raised, where you were born. Who were you in the classroom? Were you the class clown? Were you the jovial twins? Were you the troublemakers? That's what I want to know.
That's subjective. I'd say that we had phases. We were once the jovial twins, and we're very calm at some point. And we're also the noisemakers. Exactly. So it just depends on what area or what phase you're asking.
So just take us back to your earliest memories.
I remember the day that I came out. Okay, just kidding. I think from as far as maybe the 4th grade, I think I was more aware that we were twins and
yes,
but we've always had the same similar characters and interests, and it's very hard to find very distinct things about us. Although we're different, believe us, trust us, but it's just that we tend to stay together and just have interest in the same things. I'll say for me, however, I tend to come off as the outspoken person. She's outspoken.
Yeah, I see.
I just like to speak when I want to. So I'll just say that about myself. You go ahead. For me, I think I'm very jovial, witty. Or how do you say witty?
Witty.
And very expressive. I wasn't always this way. It took a lot of growing into myself and understanding who I am, to be more expressive in the way I talk, the way I make jokes a lot, and the way sometimes I seem extroverted, sometimes I seem introverted. More on the introverted side.
I see.
I'll say reserved. I'm an ambivert, depending on the occasion.
Oh, I like that word.
But just a background story, do you mind?
No, please tell us.
We're born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos.
Don't ever say Lagos.
Yeah, seriously, don't say Lagos.
So we grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, and we left Nigeria to the United States when we were 11 years old. So that's just a really small backstory.
Wow.
Yeah, we're actually kind of shy, or considered shy, in I think 6th to the 9th grade or 10th grade. But it just the more you just hang around people that develop a character,
yes,
the more your expressive nature comes out.
I can relate.
Not trying to please people per se. Yeah.
No, I can relate. When you meet the right people, they just bring out the best in you, and some things in you that you didn't realize, right? Yeah.
So that
I think we have that, assimilation story, right? You just have to figure out who your friends are when you move, right?
Yes.
When you, it's a whole process.
We can talk about it.
that has to be a whole nother video, actually. All right, so moving forward, what is your why for pursuing medicine?
Wow.
Basically, like a short, what was your personal statement?
You want to go first? You want to go first? Okay. So, I would say like right from when like I was, yes, the 3rd grade. I don't know about you all, but like in the 3rd grade, I remember my primary school teacher asking everyone like, what do you want to be? And everyone was saying like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an accountant. And I was like, what if I want to be a doctor? I was like, nah, I'm gonna just say it, just because that's what everyone's saying. And then as I grew, and I think my first encounter that made me really think of being a doctor was when I went to the United States, and I first saw like the family physician, like my own family physician, and just the way like she treated and cared for me. I'm not saying that there weren't like family doctors in Nigeria. It's just that was just my own experience. I didn't get to have that experience in Nigeria. And even so, when I first had my first, experience with a doctor like treating me and caring for me, I was like, I want to do the same for other kids like me who are shy or they don't know how to speak, and they can, when they get to the maybe the hospital, they're scared and whatnot. I think I would like to offer the same kind of care. Yeah. So that was just a really small spark in my journey. But as you get older, as you get to be like, I think I was around like 18 or 17. I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with my life. God, are you there? Do you want to help me now? I pray to you, so I don't know if I should continue. Do you want me to continue?
No, please.
Okay,
tell us.
So in that phase of my life, I was like, there is a God, right? So I need some help. I like the healthcare system in terms of like offering care. That's just where I I got specific on that. Yeah, I just want to care for people. I'm really interested about the human body. I really loved anatomy, by the way. I got a lot of injuries growing up, and I always wondered how my body healed itself. So that's another backstory. So, and God did come true, right? Gave me signs, and people would just come up to me and my sister. It's kind of like a unique story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, after that, I got some confirmations, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should do medicine. So that was just essentially my why.
Wow.
2 sparks, the anatomy of the body, and just my first encounter with a family physician.
Is there anything you want to add on to that?
Sure. I think for me, I had a family friend who had like a health issue. It's not necessarily in regards to their living condition.
Okay.
But like an accident or something that happened to them. And I just wanted to be able to fix it.
Oh, I see.
And as cliche as it sounds, for every med student's personal statement, it's actually something I didn't think of, like writing in my personal statements, because I forgot that was the initial moment. But it made me want to pursue medicine to the top most layer, like becoming a surgeon.
I see.
Even though I don't really have that desire to be a surgeon anymore, but like I was like, wait, I can actually be like those people trying to just fix it and not like make mistakes. Because a mistake can affect someone's life.
Yeah.
And so and that was like when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to the US, And then I watched the paid programming. You all know what a paid programming is when you're trying to watch Disney Channel and there's a paid programming whatever. But anyways, it was a good thing, right? And I saw where people would go to rural areas to like treat kids with cleft lip, and it was for free. And I was like, hey, people are suffering, and only 1 in 500 children could actually get treatment. And I was kind of annoyed that there are like thousands of physicians out there, so it's just like an extra spark. And more sparks, and I had this whole phase when I was 18, trying to transition from high school to college, like asking God for directions. I don't know if that's going to be another video, but I actually asked, and He gave me directions, and I was like, oh, I see, you talked to me. I didn't know you could talk to me. Long story short, my why is just so that I can impact people's lives in a way that's deeper than just physical healing, like a soul healing, physical healing included, spiritual healing, and also to make them feel seen, that they're not just another number in the pool of people. So that's my why.
Wow. That is very powerful. My goodness. So I don't even know if we can move on from that, but moving on, why did you decide to become an IMG? You know, being raised, you know, I would say in the US, just like myself, a lot of people watching always wonder why students are coming from the United States or from Canada to the Caribbean. Just to let you guys know, it's raining, so if you hear anything in the background, that's just a little disclaimer. Go ahead, ladies.
Okay, I will go first. So just a disclaimer, we have the same similar experience. So I'm going to say some things she also, you know, has experience with. So just to finish up the story of like finding direction, we did go to an undergraduate school, it's Prairie View A&M University. You know? Okay. So we got accepted into the undergraduate program, and fortunately there was a medical academy in the program. It kind of coincided with another phase of asking for direction, and that was where God led us to, and it's a huge testimony in our journey to medicine. So what happened was that usually in your your junior year of undergrad, you're supposed to apply to med school programs, should have garnered some experiences and all. So we did all of that. We were ready to apply into med schools, and unfortunately we kept getting we didn't get accepted to any, right? And we're trying to take the MCAT, which is the exam you need to take in order to get into med school in the US. So we kept hitting so many roadblocks, and we're just like, okay, God. Why have you forsaken us? Why have you forsaken us? So and it was, we're laughing now, but it was actually a very challenging moment for us. Not in a way that we didn't believe that God wouldn't see us through, but we just thought everything should go exactly
a straight line, just like me, like me.
I'm sure some of you watching can attest to this. The journey isn't always straight.
A straight path,
but there are usually hidden blessings and treasures in those life in journeys, and you can pick up lessons from that. So essentially for us, we were like, okay, God, if you don't want us to do medicine, what does you want us to do? So we ended up not getting accepted after graduating from our undergrad. We graduated, yay, that's awesome.
Yes.
But we were like, what's next? I never considered a gap year, number one. I never considered applying to a Caribbean medical school. It was out of my zone, out of my comfort zone. Our comfort zone. you. Like I was like, me, no way. And I think after graduating from college, it was just that phase of discovery. It was an unexpected gap year, and I feel like God used that gap year to instill some life lessons. That number one, don't be proud.
Yes.
You think,
oh my God,
you expect certain things because you kind of carry yourself in this really like high kind of basically I was proud. I don't know.
It's when you get out of college and you graduate and you're first to do it kind of energy.
I know, and it's just like a humbling experience.
It really is. I went through a humbling experience myself. My goodness.
I would, just to sum up the question and just give you a real straight answer, we only considered being an IMG when we prayed about it. And when we got to that state of like, God, at this point, more of you, all of you, anything, if you want me to go to McDonald's, I will be okay. No, I'm not kidding. Like,
no, I understand.
Yeah,
I do.
We didn't say it just because like, oh God, you're ruining my life, whatever, I don't care anymore.
Right.
It was more of like surrender, like, okay, I trust your plan, and actually would rather choose you
than what I want or desire. Yeah.
Because it's no longer a hard state of like, oh, you're God, you should do this. I choose you anyways. And immediately my heart's posture was reflected in that manner. It was like a switch. Like, okay, here's a school. Like almost like God was like, okay, finally you got to that heart posture. Now this is the door I wanted you to enter in, only if you had just surrendered initially. So I mean, it's not like I wasn't surrendered before. I just wanted what I wanted, and I wanted God to want what I wanted. But it's like what I wanted was to pursue medicine. That was also God's desire. But the manner in which that process was going to be was different. So it was still in God's heart desires. But there's a scripture that says, He'll grant you your heart desires according to His will. I was like, I didn't read the other part. His will.
Yeah.
But that's the YIMG, and I've come to discover that it's not a hindrance. Being an IMG, I feel like that's probably your next question.
No.
Being an IMG student is not it's always like a fear of like if you read Reddit or whatever.
Yeah.
That uncertainty. But that's how life is in general. Just because you're in the United States doesn't mean you get to finish.
Or match.
That sounds terrible. But it's just the truth. But like what I've come to realize is that my security isn't in med school, isn't God, and if He's leading me here, then He will see me through.
Amen.
And I hate to be cliche, but it just sounds very cliche. And that is why IMG.
Wow, thank you for taking the time to explain that. I think a lot of us who are Christians who are watching, we have, our secret desires, and sometimes, like you said, we want God to want our desire, but it doesn't work that way. And thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of people actually needed to hear that. That's come up in a conversation of mine this week. So moving forward, this is a question that I get a lot here on my channel, and I'm trying to ask as many people as I can. So that question is, how do you study? How do you memorize questions? How do you memorize, what is your method that you use?
Well, I study. I'll say I've learned the best. Right now, I'll say it's probably the best time to ask the question. But I'll say I study by active recall is my number one. Like, it's like flashcards where you're quizzing someone else and you're trying to remember what you just learned. And questions, question banks, reading why it's wrong, why it's right, because you might guess an answer correctly, but you actually don't know the topic. And I'll say if I'm starting out with like a new subject or a new class, like pathology, what I started implementing was to read before. You may not always get to read pre-read. But pre-read, you take notes and practice. I didn't really take notes. I just pre-read and then I'll listen to the lecturer and then just active recalling questions. So I just skipped the taking notes part because I don't really have time for that. And I think that's about it. And just to piggyback on what she said about active recall, it's very, very important that you don't passively learn. Yes, sometimes you're gonna have that boost of energy and motivation to sit down, read the textbook, and you actually retain. But sometimes when you find yourself reading and you're literally skipping the pages and nothing is working, just stop. Don't do it for the next 2 hours. Change your style, like what my sister said. Active recall. Let's say you just learned about gluconeogenesis, right? Close the book and see if you can draw out the pathway yourself, or recall the enzymes along the cycle, right? Stuff like that. It just help you to keep that information in your memory. And another thing that's really essential about active recall is having a friend or a colleague that is always there to quiz you, not someone that would try to
seem dumb or smart.
Yeah.
A study partner.
A study partner.
Yeah.
And if you notice the person always, choose your partner wisely. Don't just choose someone because they're smart. Choose someone you want to learn with. If they're smart, that's great. I mean, people are smart. Let me study with them.
It's the truth.
You may actually not benefit from it.
Right.
So active recall, and another thing is when you're taking notes, don't take notes that you know in your heart of hearts you're not gonna look at it again. Be realistic with yourself because time is essential.
Yes.
I wouldn't say I'm perfect. I didn't know all of this or implement them throughout my MD1 to MD5, but so far I would say active recall and having a repetitive, repeating the information all over again make it sorry to cut this part. Try to say
You're good.
I'll say active recall, repeating the information and having questions just to test if you know the information, because there's really no point if you study this thing and you can't explain it to anyone.
It hurts. It hurts.
And let's see, and just to say this, if you don't have time, right?
You literally have.
You don't have
one
time.
night.
Do questions.
Yeah.
And start to study why each option is wrong except the right answer,
So
and why
cover.
exactly you cover the
those
concepts.
topics.
So that's what I would say. Have a study schedule, plan. Try to be organized. I'm just saying this as additional things you're supposed to do.
And you know it's good for you.
But if you could take anything away, active recall, do questions, repeat.
And it gets easier. No, sorry. Your learning style gets better.
Well, thank you for sharing that in-depth detail. I'm sure I'm going to benefit, and others watching are also going to benefit as well.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure, absolutely.
A good resource to use to repeat information would be Anki. You can create flashcards and just time yourself, and it's literally just concepts right at your forefront, and you can just test yourself right away.